And a good Saturday evening to you out there. I'm KX Storm Team Meteorologist Robert Suhr. I want to spend a few minutes and talk about what everybody's kind of talking about right now, and that is the potential, keyword there, potential for some accumulating snow for the second half of the week. This would be after Christmas. I don't think your Christmas plans in Bismarck, Minot, Williston, or Dickinson will be impacted at all. It's after we get on the other side of the holiday. That's when everybody's talking about the potential for accumulating snow. So we're going to put this, we're going to go through a couple model runs here, and I'll show you some differences. And there's subtle differences, but they make big, they'll cause big changes in who sees a lot of snow and who doesn't see as much snow and who sees no snow. So as we put the pattern into motion here, we're going to see an area of low pressure that's going to develop southeast of Denver. This is throughout the day on Wednesday, so we're already past Christmas. And this area of low pressure is going to develop right around the New Mexico, Colorado border. Now, this system hasn't even crossed onto the west coast yet, so the models are having a lot of trouble with what to do with this storm because there simply isn't the observations out over the ocean, and those observations go into the model data. Once the storm makes landfall, you get many more observations. That helps the models out tremendously in helping meteorologists put their forecast together for where this potential storm might be. Now, right now, it's looking like there are two possible tracks. The first track is a more northerly track. That would take the storm just around the Minneapolis area into northwest Wisconsin, and that would provide a good section of North Dakota with accumulating snow. That is what the European model is saying, and we'll touch on that in just a second. The American model is taking or leaning towards a more southerly track that would take the storm across a good section of Kansas through southern Iowa and basically toward southern Wisconsin, the Madison, Wisconsin area, Milwaukee, just north of Chicago. And that difference in storm tracks is massive when you're talking about snowfall accumulations this time of the year. I'll put this model run, again, this is one model run. This is the American model here. This is Wednesday morning, again, after Christmas. We'll put this together, and you'll see the storm start to take shape. You can see a good section of southern and southeastern North Dakota are in some of these darker contours of blue where there may see some more steadier snow. Far northwestern sections, maybe not seeing anything. No matter which model ends up verifying, I think that if you're in Williston or Dickinson, you have a good chance to not see much snow out of this at all. I think this is primarily a Bismarck and Minot event, but again, that could change as we get closer to the event. But the key with the GFS model here is the amount of time that we are under the steady snow is very short, while areas of South Dakota, southeastern Minnesota, and northwestern Wisconsin are under the steadier, heavier snow for a much greater portion of time. And then that storm will move off toward the east. Now we'll put the European model into motion. Now you can see it developing again. This is around the same time frame, Wednesday, 4:30 in the morning while many of you are asleep. The storm develops. It's going to come, it looks like, in two waves if the European model verifies. We'll see this little finger of snow first late in the day on Wednesday. Then we'll get a break before the main precipitation shield of the storm begins to push north into the area. And you can see a much greater coverage of snow throughout North Dakota, especially southeastern sections, Valley City, Fargo, Jamestown, but still in the Bismarck area, you're under some of those darker contours, and those last for a greater period of time until the storm finally pushes off by Saturday. Now I'll show you some snowfall totals that the models are putting out. This is not a forecast, this is just model guidance. This would be the GFS, the American model, putting most of North Dakota under 1 to 3, maybe south of Interstate 94, you have the potential to see 3 to 5 inches, but the bulk of the heavy plowable snow stays mostly in South Dakota and into Nebraska. You can see a nice bullseye there of 16 to 24 inches and heavier snow spreading off to the east. That's one model run of the American. This could change. It will change as we get closer toward the event. But the European model, with that more northerly and westerly track, has more plowable snows throughout a good section of central and eastern North Dakota. You can see 5 to 8 inches throughout the heart of the Bismarck-Mandan area. Even more snows as you go toward the east. Jamestown, Valley City, Fargo, in the zone for up to a foot of snow, with lesser amounts off to the west and heavier amounts remain to the south. So I just wanted to spend a couple of minutes just to get the word out there. Nothing is set in stone yet. A lot can change, and a lot will change with these winter storms, but the potential is there for later in the week for some accumulating snows. So if you have travel plans, if you're headed out of the area and you're coming back later in the week, it would definitely be a good idea to stay up to date on what this storm is doing on our KX News website, which is kxnet.com. And we'll certainly, myself, meteorologist Amber Wheeler, Tom Schrader, and Dave Holder will certainly be keeping our eye on this storm as it draws near. Have yourself a great night.